Most people wake up and immediately hand their mind to someone else. Before their feet even touch the floor, they're already scrolling, already reading about someone else's opinion. Music, already reacting to a notification that has nothing to do with their life. And they don't even notice it happening. Music. It just happens like a reflex, like breathing. And then they wonder why by noon they feel scattered. Music, why by 7 they feel like they've been running all day, but somehow arrived nowhere. This is not a coincidence. This is cause and effect. The Stoics understood something about the morning that most modern people have completely forgotten. They understood that how you enter the day, music, determines what the day does to you. And there's one thing just separates the person who moves through life with intention from the person who gets music dragged through it. We're going to talk about that one thing today. But first, I need you to understand something about your own mind, music, that nobody really tells you. Your brain, the moment you wake up, is in its most vulnerable and most powerful state at the same time. It's vulnerable because it's music just come out of rest. The mental walls haven't fully gone up yet. Whatever. Your mind in those first moments gets absorbed deeply. It doesn't just sit on the surface. It sinks in. It shapes your emotional temperature for the entire day. Think about the music. Time you woke up and the first thing you saw was bad news or an argument or something stressful. Do you remember how that day felt? Heavy from the start. Wasn't music it? You couldn't shake it. That's not weakness. That's just how the music brain works. But powerful because those same conditions that make you vulnerable also make you incredibly impressionable in a positive direction. A mind that's fresh, music, and uncluttered can receive clarity like nothing else. It can set direction like a compass being calibrated. It's before a long journey. The Stoics called this the morning preparation. Marcus Aurelius didn't just roll out of bed and walk into running an empire. He sat with himself first. Every single morning before the chaos of the music touched him, he prepared his mind. And what he wrote during those quiet hours became what music we now call meditations. Arguably the most important personal journal in human music history. So what was he actually doing? What is this one thing? It's not meditation the way you're probably imagining. It's not a breathing exercise or a cold music plunge or a 5-step routine. It doesn't require anything you don't already have. It's this. Before you music look outward, you look inward. And specifically, you ask yourself one question. What kind music of person do I want to be today? That's it. That is. It's the thing. Now before music, you think that sounds too simple, too soft, too obvious. Stay with me because the reason it works is not the question itself. It's what the question forces music, your brain to do. When you ask yourself what kind of person you want to be today, music, you are doing something that almost no one does. You are taking authorship of your own day before the world gets the chance to write it for you. You are planting a flag in the ground and saying this is the direction I'm walking. Not you music algorithm, not you inbox, not you news cycle me. Now. Here's where the Stoics go deeper than most people expect. They didn't just believe in setting music intentions. They believed in something called askais, which roughly translates to deliberate practice or training. The idea that the soul, just like the body, has to be exercised, has to be worked, and that music without daily practice, without consistent repetition, your character, music, doesn't actually grow. It just drifts. Think about music, that for a second. Your character drifts without practice. We accept this. It's completely when it comes to physical fitness. Nobody expects to stay in shape, music, without doing something consistently. Nobody expects to get stronger by just thinking about lifting weights. But somehow when it comes to who we are as people, our patience, our discipline, our ability to stay calm under pressure, we expect those qualities to music just exist, to just show up when we need them. They don't. They have to be built. And the morning is where that building starts. When Marcus Aurelius sat with himself every morning, he wasn't doing it because he was already wise. Music. He was doing it because he was working on becoming wise. There's a version of him that most people don't think. The version that was irritable, that made poor decisions, that power get to his head sometimes. He wrote about those versions of himself with brutal, music honesty. The morning's practice wasn't a celebration of who he was. It was a commitment to who he was trying to become. That's a music. It's a completely different thing. And it changes how you approach those quiet minutes in the morning. It's not about feeling good. Music, it's about sharpening something. And here is where it gets really interesting. The question isn't just abstract. You don't music. Ask it and drift off. You answer it concretely. You think about what challenges the day is likely to music. And here the Stoics were deeply practical. And you pre-decide how you want to respond to them. Epictetus, who life as a literal slave and ended it as one of the most respected philosophers in Rome, students this music exact practice. He called it premeditatio, the premeditation music. Events. You sit in the quiet of the morning and you think, today someone might, music, frustrate me. Today something might not go the way I want. Today I might be music tested. And you decide in advance who you want to be in music those moments. This is the difference between a person who reacts and a person who responds. A reaction is what happens when music, life catches you off guard. Someone says something dismissive and it ruins your mood for the entire afternoon. A plan falls apart. Suddenly you're spiraling. That's a music reaction. Automatic, subconscious, driven entirely by circumstance. A response is music, what happens when you've already decided. When you've already sat in the quiet of your morning and said, today, I choose patience. Today, I choose focus. Today, regardless of what comes at me, want to be someone I'm proud of by the time I lay my head back down. Music, it's tonight. You can't guarantee your day will go well, but you can guarantee who you'll be in it. There's also something Seneca wrote that has always stayed with me. Music. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. That the mind left music, unguided, tends to wander toward fear, toward worst cases, music, toward everything that could go wrong. And the morning without any intentional practice, music, is where that wandering begins. But when you sit down and consciously direct your thoughts, when you music, take that wandering mind and give it something purposeful to hold on to, you interrupt music, that pattern before it starts. You are essentially telling your nervous system, we are not music in chaos today. We have a direction. We have a standard we're holding ourselves to. That shift, subtle, but music is massive. It changes the quality of your attention for the entire day. And attention, as the Stoics would tell you, is really all you have. Your attention, music, is your life. Where it goes, your experience follows. The reason most people never do this isn't laziness. It's that nobody told them those first few minutes actually matter this much. They've been sold routines and shacks and productivity systems, but never the simplest thing. Sit with yourself before the noise starts. Set your standard, then go live the day. You won't be perfect. The Stoics weren't either. Marcus Aurelius wrote about losing his temper, about falling short of his own standards. That's why he kept going back to the practice. Not because he had it figured out, but because the practice was the point. Motivation is a feeling. It fades. This is different. This works on the worst days. Music, maybe especially. The worst days, because you decided who you were going to be, music, before the chaos had a chance to decide for you. The morning belongs, music, to you, but only if you take it. Sit with yourself tomorrow. Music, even 2 minutes. Ask the question. Set the standard. The day is coming for you regardless. The only question is whether you'll be music ready.